This holiday, Verizon is giving you incredible gifts and savings you'll enjoy all year. When you switch, you'll get 4 new iPhone 17 Pros. No trade-in needed. That's right. Get 4 lines for just $25 a line and the amazing iPhone 17 Pro for everyone. Save big this holiday. Visit Verizon today. $20 monthly promo credits applied to account over 35 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply for phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
Hi, it's Paige DeSorbo from Giggly Squad. You ever stand in front of your closet and just say, I have nothing to wear, while you're literally surrounded by clothes? Because same. So I started listing pieces I'm over on Depop. And honestly, it's been amazing. You can sell what you're done with, and someone out there will love it. And the best part about it is there's no seller fee. So the money you make actually stays in your pocket, which feels very chic. It's also insanely easy. I listed something while watching TV, and it sold before the episode even ended. So download the Depop app and list your first item today, because your old outfit could be someone else's new favorite. Depop, where taste recognizes taste. Payment processing fees, boosting fees still apply. For more info, visit Depop.com. Hi, it's Paige DeSorbo from Giggly Squad. You ever stand in front of your closet and just say, I have nothing to wear, while you're literally surrounded by clothes? Because same. So I started listing pieces I'm over on Depop. And honestly, it's been amazing. You can sell what you're done with, and someone out there will love it. And the best part about it is there's no seller fee. So the money you make actually stays in your pocket, which feels very chic. It's also insanely easy. I listed something while watching TV, and it sold before the episode even ended. So download the Depop app and list your first item today, because your old outfit could be someone else's new favorite. Depop, where taste recognizes taste. Payment processing fees, boosting fees still apply. For more info, visit Depop.com.
This holiday, Verizon is giving you incredible gifts and savings you'll enjoy all year. When you switch, you'll get 4 new iPhone 17 Pros. No trade-in needed. That's right. Get 4 lines for just $25 a line and the amazing iPhone 17 Pro for everyone. Save big this holiday. Visit Verizon today. $20 monthly promo credits applied to account over 35 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply for phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
Hi, it's Paige DeSorbo from Giggly Squad. You ever stand in front of your closet and just say, I have nothing to wear, while you're literally surrounded by clothes? Because same. So I started listing pieces I'm over on Depop. And honestly, it's been amazing. You can sell what you're done with, and someone out there will love it. And the best part about it is there's no seller fee. So the money you make actually stays in your pocket, which feels very chic. It's also insanely easy. I listed something while watching TV, and it sold before the episode even ended. So download the Depop app and list your first item today, because your old outfit could be someone else's new favorite. Depop, where taste recognizes taste. Payment processing fees, boosting fees still apply. For more info, visit Depop.com.
Hello, I'm Sarah, and welcome to the Whispering Woods Classic Ghost Story. As I said on the main episode, Toby isn't around this week because I'm hurriedly doing this over the weekend when he's at his dad's because we've got so much to do. I need to catch up with stuff. I'm getting overwhelmed. I'm getting all anxious. All the rest of it. I'm sure lots of you feel the same way. Christmas is pressure. And because I've got PTSD, I do not deal with pressure and stress that well at all. I just want to get in my bed and read my book. Read my scary ghost stories. Watching an open fire of some kind. I haven't got an open fire. But I have got some oil lamps I love, and I've fallen in love with old-fashioned oil lamps. But anyway, today's story is classic folklore. I've done it in a way that I've kind of moulded a story around it so that it makes sense. And I hope you enjoy it. It's different, so it's not based on any one real true event. It's just me playing about with the story. That being said, I'll get straight into it. Are you ready for the ghost story? Night settles heavily over the Lincolnshire fens. Beneath the moonless sky, the flat marshland is a patchwork of mirror black dikes and glistening reed beds, all covered in a cold creeping mist. In the distance stands the great tower of St. Botolph's Church, the Boston Stump, its famous octagonal lantern barely aglow through the fog. For centuries, that beacon has shone across the fens to guide lost travellers and sailors, a steadfast star above treacherous bogs. But on this autumn night in 1883, another light glimmers on the ground below, where no lamp should be. Old Matthew Croy, the church's night watchman, pauses at the parapet of the tower. Below him the town's narrow streets are quiet, gaslights burning low. Beyond the river's silver curve lies endless marsh. He narrows his eyes. Out on the far side of Whittam, something is moving. A small pale light winks in and out among the distant willow scrubs. Matthew's first thought is of a lantern, perhaps a lone traveller making for Boston. Yet the way it dances against the wind, bobbing erratically over watery ground, makes his skin crawl. There is no sound but the far-off croak of frogs and the lap of dark water. As the mist thickens, Matthew loses sight of the glow and is left with only the ancient tower lamp behind him and a knot of unease in his stomach. He whispers a quiet prayer and clutches his coat tighter against the damp. In the marsh beyond, the mysterious flicker vanishes, leaving the Fenland night darker than before. At the very same hour, on a lonesome fen road north of town, two farm labourers trudge homeward. Thomas Tom Colby leads the way with a creaking handcart, and young William Fletcher follows close, lantern in hand. Fog swirls around their knees. The rutted track beside the drainage canal, known locally as Hobson's Drain, is slick with mud. Both men know these marshes can play tricks on the eyes. That's why Tom stops abruptly when a faint bluish light appears ahead of them, hovering low over the path. William squints. "Another traveller, perhaps," he whispers. But Tom's weathered face has gone ashen. In a hushed, urgent tone, he replies, "No, lad, t'ain't no ordinary lantern." The light ahead sways once to the left, then darts to the right, as if teasing them. It's too high off the ground to be a reflection in water, and it moves far too smoothly for a person wading through the bog. Tom recalls the warnings his grandfather gave him as a boy. "If ever you see a light on the marsh by itself, beware. That there is the lantern man, and he'll lead you to your doom." He had laughed then, dismissing it as old fen superstition. Now with the blood pounding in his ears, Tom isn't laughing. Before Tom can stop him, William raises his voice to call out across the marsh. "Hello, do you need help?" His shout carries through the mist. At once the floating light reacts. It snaps out, then reappears closer, growing from a feeble spark into a brighter, throbbing flame. William, thinking it must be a person's lantern, waves his own lamp in greeting. He lets out a short whistle to get their attention. The effect is immediate. The pale flame rushes toward them at an unnatural speed, twisting and flitting over the black bog water. "Run," Tom barks, grabbing William by the coat. "Don't whistle, don't." But William has already done the forbidden. The Fenfolk say the lantern man is drawn to sound, a whistle especially, like a moth to a beckoning flame. And now that evil light is coming for them. Dropping the handcart, the two men sprint back down the track, boots splashing. William risks a glance over his shoulder and sees the pursuing light growing larger, from the size of a candle's sneeze to a glowing orb as big as a quart. In its glow he fancies a shape, perhaps a human-like figure carrying a lantern. But no figure is truly there. Only the dancing fire. It skips over the ground soundlessly, yet the reeds it passes bend and smoulder. Tom's breath comes in ragged gasps. Up ahead, a sturdy farmhouse stands at the road's end. "To the house, go," he cries. With the light almost at their heels, the men barrel through the farm's gate, shouting for the owner. The farmhouse belongs to John Newcombe, a retired bargeman who knows the fens better than most. Hearing the commotion, John flings open his door to find Tom and William scrambling onto his porch, wide-eyed and pale. Beyond them, through the open door, he sees it. An uncanny bluey-green light hovering at his front gate, bobbing as if uncertain to advance. "Lantern man, John, it's after us." Tom wheezes. John needs no further explanation. He's heard the tales since boyhood. With a steadying breath, he snatches up his hunting horn, hanging by the door. A large old horn lantern, its pane made of cow horn. Jamming a candle inside, he lights it with trembling hands. "Stay back," John orders the younger men. "And whatever you do, keep silent." He steps to a front window and carefully pushes it open. Outside, the phantom light drifts nearer. John extends the lit horn lantern out the window, mounted atop a long pole used for propping laundry lines. Seeing the new light, the glowing entity pauses, as if regarding this challenge. Then, with a sudden swoop, it rushes the decoy. John quickly jerks the pole, dodging the spectral flame by a hair. The floating light twists back in a rumman, a strange furious move, and charges again. 3 times the lantern man darts at the bobbing decoy, and 3 times old John deftly sways aside. Tom and William watch from behind the door, hardly daring to breathe. Finally, John holds the lantern pole out steady and still in the dark yard. "Come on then," he mutters. The light hesitates, only a second, before hurtling straight at the offered target. For an instant, the front yard is lit in a harsh bluey-white glare. John staggers back as the ghostly fire engulfs the horn lantern on the pole. A hissing flash of light and heat. He yanks the pole inside and slams the window shut. Tom and William rush to help bar the door. Through cracks in the shutter, they see the mysterious light veer erratically, then drift away toward the river, dimming to a sullen spark and finally winking out in the mist. The men exhale, only when the night is fully dark again. John's decoy lantern is in ruins when he examines it. The horn pane is burnt to a blackened crisp, warped by some unholy heat. In the garden below the window, the gravel is scorched in a small circle where the apparition struck. The air reeks of sulphur and charred resin. William wipes mud from his face and realises he dove flat to the ground in a panic at some point, recalling the old advice to press your face into the marsh to evade the lantern man's notice. The three men spend the remainder of that night huddled by John's hearth, each silently grateful to have survived an encounter with a Fenland horror thought to live only in old stories. By dawn, news of the night's terror has begun to spread through Boston's Market Square. A miller's boy sent early to fetch water heard William's frightened cries on the road and soon carried the tale to town. Now, as grey morning light filters through the sea mist, small clusters of townsfolk gather by the dock and at the doors of the Green Dragon Inn, murmuring about ghostly lights. Inside the inn, William, his hands still shaking as he cradles a mug of hot cider, recounts the tale to the local constable and a handful of rapt listeners. Tom and John nod in solemn confirmation at each incredible detail when William describes how the pursuer grew to the size of a great burning globe and how it blazed like a furnace when John's lantern decoy was sacrificed. More than one listener makes the sign of the cross. The innkeeper's wife gasps, imagining what would have happened had that hellish fire touched living flesh. Outside, a small crowd has formed around the constable. Farmer Cooper, a grizzled fenman of 70 years, spits on the ground and says, "Mark my words, it were the lantern man. I haven't seen one these 40 year, but I always said they'd be back." Others nod uneasily. Most everyone in this region knows some snippet of lantern lore. Strange floating lights that wander the swamps at night. The older folk recall parents and grandparents sternly warning them never to follow the will-o'-the-wisp, never whistle after dark in the marsh, never stray from the causeway after dusk. Mothers resolve to keep children indoors after sunset. A Cooper postpones an evening trip to a nearby village upon hearing what lurks on the roads. The constable, unsure how to police a ball of ghost fire, scratches his head and says he'll organise a patrol of the riverbank at sundown. Armed with stout cudgels and lanterns, though he privately doubts their use. As midday arrives, a nervous energy pervades the marketplaces and churchyard. Even the great stump tower seems more ominous today. A few townspeople crossing the square at noon swear they can still smell a faint sulphurous odour on the breeze, as if last night's visitor left a taint in the air. For the villagers of Boston, steeped in Fenland folklore and faith, the conclusion seems inescapable. An evil spirit walked last night in the misty fields. By the fireside that evening, tongues wag with stories of the lantern men of old. Grandmothers tell wide-eyed children of jack-o'-lanterns or hob-o'-lanthorns, as they were once known. Malevolent bog lights that lure travellers to endless drowning bogs. It's the souls of unbaptized babies, one superstitious fishmonger insists. Lantern men are the spirits of wicked sailors, out to drag others to a watery grave, claims another, recalling an old sailor's tale. In one corner of the tavern, Farmer Cooper shares a gory fen legend. Years ago, a wherryman named of Joseph Bexfield went out one foggy night against all warnings. Folks at the White Horse Inn begged him not to sail, for dancing lights were seen on the marsh. Sure sign the lantern men were hunting. He laughed it off and never came home. Cooper's audience nods gravely. Bexfield's fate a man found drowned in the Yare decades ago, sounds too close to what might have befallen Tom and William had they not reached shelter in time. A few of Boston's educated gentlemen float scientific theories. Could it have been marsh gas, that is methane seeping from decaying peat, spontaneously igniting in air? Such ignis fatuus, foolish fire, is known to science as a plausible explanation for will-o'-the-wisp lights. One scholar points out that phosphine from rotting plants can combust with a pale glow. This theory gains traction when John Newcomb reluctantly shows the remains of his horn lantern to the town doctor. The horn's material, being organic, might well have caught fire if exposed to a burst of hot gas. He also mentions that in recent years many bogs have been drained for agriculture, and such ghost lights have become rarer, perhaps why younger folk like William were sceptical until now. Yet even faced with rational explanations, the locals are not entirely convinced. The phenomenon was too targeted, too responsive to be mere gas. Tom Colby shakes his head at talk of chemistry. He swears the light chased them intelligently, reacting to William's whistle and John's decoy with almost human cunning. And folklorist L.F. Newman's collected tales warned that these lights are drawn to whistling and pursue travellers with wicked intent. Marsh fires don't follow men like a hound. Call it what you will. I say it were a spirit, a witch fire. The lantern man himself. The words of old Bess, the village herbalist. And then, as suddenly as it all began, the manifestations stopped. The foggy nights following the incident passed without any new sightings of the uncanny lights. The bonfire wardens see nothing more alarming than a fox skittering across a dike. And even now, long after the marshes have been drained and the old superstitions softened by time, the stories have not entirely disappeared. Walkers on the riverbank still report strange, solitary glimmers that hover low over the reeds. Anglers tell of lights that drift against the wind, vanishing the moment a voice calls out. A few locals insist that on damp autumn nights, when the fog curls around the foot of the Boston Stump, a pale spark can sometimes be seen wandering the far side of the fen. Never bright enough to name, never steady enough to trust. Most shrug it off as mist, moonlight, or imagination. But here in the old fen country, people still murmur the same warning their ancestors passed down. If a light beckons from the marsh, keep your eyes ahead and do not follow. For the lantern man, they say, still walks.
This holiday, Verizon is giving you incredible gifts and savings you'll enjoy all year. When you switch, you'll get 4 new iPhone 17 Pros, no trade-in needed. That's right, get 4 lines for just $25 a line and the amazing iPhone 17 Pro for everyone. Save big this holiday. Visit Verizon today. $20 monthly promo credits applied to account over 35 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply for phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
Hi, it's Paige DeSorbo from Giggly Squad. You ever stand in front of your closet and just say, I have nothing to wear, while you're literally surrounded by clothes? Because same. So I started listing pieces I'm over on Depop. And honestly, it's been amazing. You can sell what you're done with, and someone out there will love it. And the best part about it is there's no seller fee. So the money you make actually stays in your pocket, which feels very chic. It's also insanely easy. I listed something while watching TV, and it sold before the episode even ended. So download the Depop app and list your first item today, because your old outfit could be someone else's new favorite. Depop, where taste recognizes taste. Payment processing fees, boosting fees still apply. For more info, visit depop.com.
And one thing I do want to say is, in this folklore as well, some people say they do see a shadow of the Lantern Man, which I didn't put in the main story. I love this. It conjures up to me I can't describe it. I guess I'm thinking like Wuthering Heights type ghost story, which I love the Wuthering Heights. I haven't read it, I have to admit. But the old film, I love it. Who's in it? Is it Laurence Olivier? I can't remember. I really can't. But that story, that really old one, I love it. But I do look back on it now with a different lens. Possibly quite an abusive relationship. But I do love it, and I love listening to Wuthering Heights by Kate Bush. When Roger and I go to the moors, we put Kate Bush on and listen as we're driving down the little lanes, the foggy lanes to Kate Bush. I do not believe that these entities are gas. That's just not true. It's just not happening. They are will-o'-the-wisps. They are people trying to lead others astray onto the moors. And they happen all over, so that's all it can be. That's all I'm going to say on this matter. Believe in the folklore. Well, that's it from me today. I hope you enjoyed, and we will catch you again. Well, I'll catch you again tomorrow for the Reddit episode. Take care, everyone.
This holiday, Verizon is giving you incredible gifts and savings you'll enjoy all year. When you switch, you'll get 4 new iPhone 17 Pros, no trade-in needed. That's right, get 4 lines for just $25 a line and the amazing iPhone 17 Pro for everyone. Save big this holiday. Visit Verizon today. $20 monthly promo credits applied to account over 35 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply for phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
Did you know Tide has been upgraded to provide an even better clean in cold water? Tide is specifically designed to fight any stain you throw at it, even in cold. Butter? Yep. Chocolate ice cream? Sure thing. Barbecue sauce? Tide's got you covered. You don't need to use warm water. Additionally, Tide Pods let you confidently fight tough stains with new Coldzyme technology. Just remember, if it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide.
Hi, it's Paige DeSorbo from Giggly Squad. You ever stand in front of your closet and just say, I have nothing to wear, while you're literally surrounded by clothes? Because same. So I started listing pieces I'm over on Depop. And honestly, it's been amazing. You can sell what you're done with, and someone out there will love it. And the best part about it is there's no seller fee. So the money you make actually stays in your pocket, which feels very chic. It's also insanely easy. I listed something while watching TV, and it sold before the episode even ended. So download the Depop app and list your first item today, because your old outfit could be someone else's new favorite. Depop, where taste recognizes taste. Payment processing fees, boosting fees still apply. For more info, visit depop.com.
The stories told on the Whispering Woods are inspired by historical records, witness reports, and local folklore. While every effort is made to research and represent events accurately, some details, names, and locations may differ from official accounts or have been changed out of respect for those involved. These episodes are created for storytelling and entertainment purposes and should not be considered definitive fact or investigative journalism.